Okay.
Ready, dude? You gonna do the clap? Or
Yeah, we're going.
1, 2, 3.
Clap.
We'll go with that
We'll
one.
go with that one. We'll line up the audio with that one.
Alrighty, man. Here we are, another episode of Scumbag or Scoundrel.
Yeah.
With I'm Edward Sayers. We got Isaac Towell over here.
Back in the booth. We got a friend of mine. We play some softball together. His name is Bobby Knauff. He's a very, very funny gentleman. You can tell us a little bit about yourself, some cool things that you've done. What do you got some shows going?
I'm a stand-up comedian and a voice actor and a regular actor, I guess, sometimes too. And one of half of the Two Sues, which is a known sketch duo in Toronto that hosts things, and it's me and Josh Stone dress up like middle-aged women in my mom's old pantsuits from the 90s and inspire you,
Very funny.
Follow your dreams. Great times.
Now,
And, yeah.
Can we talk about who you're doing voiceovers for? Or are we not allowed to make those names? Are we not allowed to mention that?
Well, with what I'm going to be talking about today, I don't know if I want to associate with.
You don't want to associate. That's fair.
With children's cartoon shows that I am voicing on.
Yeah, for sure. What about the major corporation ones, though?
Maybe that one too.
I'm trying to bring down the patriarchy from within, for getting the guys doing the voiceovers for the major corporations, trying to take them down myself.
We just want to know the backdoor deals, man. Don't shy away, dude.
I do not get free food.
You don't?
No.
That's not even a great deal. Okay, cool. So, and now so you do a lot of stand-up throughout the city. Very funny guy. You've been doing this for how long, would you say?
Over a decade now.
Over a decade.
Yeah, I'm 31 now.
31.
So, and I moved to Toronto to start doing stand-up when I was 19. So, yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Damn, man.
Yeah. I was saying that out loud. I was like, oh, man, I should. Oh, wow.
10 years ago, I was coming into grade 9.
Oh,
I think so. Or maybe I was already in grade 9, yeah. I know I look like I'm 45, but I'm really about half that age, you know.
You look good. You look great. I did think you were my dad. No, just kidding.
Oh, well, I look like I could be old enough to. All right, so we could Scumbag or Scoundrel, you know, where we talk about the most fucked up shit that people have either done or have been associated to or seen or heard. Even, you know, we're not too picky about your collaboration with it. We just want the slimiest, shittiest stories that you got. So what do you got for us today?
Most people talk about like things in their adult years that they've seen or done. I dug a little deeper to my childhood embarrassing
Scary
stuff. And it's like kind of like iffy with everything people talk about. As a kid, I liked to moon people. And then what's the next step after mooning? Everyone's mooning.
You turn around.
You turn around and you show people your penis.
Yeah, the old meat
It was a little kid thing to do.
Yeah.
Me and my neighbor, we were probably 9 or 10, and when cars would drive by, we would moon them, and then cars would honk or whatever like that, and then my neighbor just drop trow and just started shaking our penises as cars drove by.
Don't look, we're gonna get you arrested.
Yeah, just making people felons.
Exactly. And then finally one car brakes or whatever, and then we hightail it into the backyard, and the car, they're showing their penis.
I'm gonna find your mothers.
Oh, and then one time it got back to my mom. Okay, this one's the best. So it was I don't know what, we had back lanes in our town or whatever, behind your house. There was a lane, and then it was the back of someone else's house or whatever. So it was everywhere in the city was intertwined with back lanes. So that's
kind of like suburbia.
Yeah, it's kind of, but yeah, it's in Thunder Bay or whatever, and just Westford, this crappy little area of town. And so where you meet up with your friends, we're in the back lane or whatever, and then as you're walking away from each other, you're fucking 11 and 12 years old, and you just yell the dirtiest words you can at each other. Fuck you, asshole, bitch, and other words that are not allowed to say.
Like the penis game.
Yeah, exactly. And then start mooning each other, and then again, Bobby's like, I'm going to take it to the next level, and whip out my little penis. No red pubes on it yet or anything, just a very white penis. Just, shake it.
Hasn't seen the sun in a while.
No, never. I don't know why I would. And then so I go home and not thinking of anything, just haha, that's hilarious. I showed my penis to a couple of dudes down, and then one of the guys I guess in the group was not really my friend. he was like in competition to be like the funny guy in the group.
Little rat fuck, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm asleep at night or whatever, and like I'm just like, it's like a Sunday night or whatever. So I have school in the morning, and my mom comes in, and she had this like fancy dinner she had to go to because she was part of like the school like trustee boards. So it did not help that my mom was like,
She had a reputation.
she had a exact.
Yeah.
You're whipping your cock out all the time.
That little Knauff boy, what's he doing again? Walking with his little pee out, making a goddamn felon out of me.
Exactly. So that's pretty much what happened. It was just like he told his mom, and my mom comes in and wakes me up, and she's like, Bobby, and I was like, oh, what? She's like, well, I was at this dinner, and one of the mothers was talking, and I overheard, and she said, oh, that Knauff boy, he's showing his penis to everybody. He's showing his penis. And I went up to her, and I was like, excuse me, that's not happening, blah, blah, blah. But I just had to come and hear from you that you're. I'm 12. I don't have a poker face or anything, so I just start crying like, I show my penis.
I love the concept of an adult woman having to come talk to another adult woman about another boy's little penis. Like being like,
Yeah.
oh man, like her having to psych herself up in her head, be like, how am I gonna?
No,
So-
she was like talking shit. So it's like
Oh, so she overheard.
Yeah,
Fucking
she wasn't. That's what's like at the time.
That's
and
even weirder though.
I know at the time.
Talking
I was,
about a little boy's dick at some fancy dinner.
exactly
Whispers of little boy wiener because it's creepy old ladies.
That's what
man.
I find so funny because in the past, obviously at the time, I was so embarrassed and like, oh my god, how like I'm in the wrong. But now looking back, I'm like, I was a little kid showing my dick, not really understanding.
Yeah.
But what's with this lady's life that it's so boring that she's at a friggin' school fundraising dinner and like when they're all the mothers are trying to get dirt on each other about the kids, like, oh, my kid's smarter than your kid and this and that. So I had good grades, and then I guess my mom was also the board trustee or whatever. It was like, we gotta get something on that Knauff kid. Like, so it's like, and then I guess I'm just assuming like maybe my friend didn't even tell on me. Maybe his mom every night was just grilling him. Like, you don't get dessert until you get any dirt on that Knauff kid.
The only reason he was hanging out with your group is like, I just want cake so bad.
I have to get Bobby doing something embarrassing. Someone tell him to show his penis. He's very incorrigible.
He's so impressionable, so easy. Oh, that's awesome.
And then, so like, yeah, I guess showing it. And then after that one, I was like, nope, not letting this out anymore for the public.
Yeah.
And so but then I would still masturbate in very weird places as a child. And I was one of the last, because I'm, like I said, I'm a little older than you guys. I don't know. Did you guys ever find porn in the woods? Was that a thing
What
you
the
even
fuck
knew?
kind of woods
Like,
were
are you talking about
hanging
like
out
porn nudie mags and like fucking tree houses or some shit?
Like, no, like just in the woods. So like, because like when you were going through puberty, you had the internet, right? Or close
no.
to?
Well, we had dial-up, but it wasn't
See,
good enough.
Yeah,
for porn,
you couldn't
really.
like if I wanted to load a video, I had to like load it before I went to school, and I come home and it'd be done.
Okay,
we
we
would print a picture off the internet. Yeah, we did have internet. We'd print a picture off a slow internet, and then I'd have that picture in my room stashed away.
Yeah, like, and I
never
had that.
thought of that.
I had that in my later, still like 16,
Yeah,
17 or
getting
whatever.
older.
But like when puberty was hitting like that, we didn't have the internet fully yet in everyone's house. Like a couple rich people had it, or whose dads or moms worked somewhere that they got a computer from work or something. So like that was just a thing people did. Like guys found it, and I guess other older guys would just like, I guess pre-internet, the woods was where you went to
Jerk off.
to jerk off. So I'm just assuming guys just went with bags of nudie magazines. Dumping, exactly, like a weird pervy Santa. And so like me and my friend, there's nothing to do in Thunder Bay. We're biking around. And it's like also before helicopter parents, so we were like, yeah, go fucking bike around the city until dinner. You know what I mean? Like no one had cell phones. No one.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Exactly. Like go get touched. We don't care. Like we just like no one cared. Like people say like, oh, that started. It's like maybe it started in Toronto where people were like that in the 90s, but like nope, just do whatever. So we found porn in the woods, and then me and my friend would just go in the woods.
With each other?
Yeah, but not each other, facing the other way.
The other way, but you weren't like on
It was
other
kind of
sides
like
of the tree?
take turns, almost like you're on guard. Like you go with the magazines, and I'll go keep up.
I'll rub a quick one
for
out.
whose ever these were. That was the biggest fear, not getting caught by your parents or someone else's parents. It's whose magazines these were.
That sounds almost like a brilliant fucking
That's a trap,
predator
dude.
trap.
That's a trap,
Like they're
man.
laying there like,
Oh
little
man, so
boys
we
will
weren't
come to this.
We
Like
weren't good looking enough for the local Thunder Bay.
basically, he would like peek through with his binoculars and be like, "Ooh, red hair. I don't know."
Or
I
no,
wasn't
maybe he
chubby,
just
sweaty
had
red hair kid.
Maybe it was like hunting deer and he had like a tree stand and he was just sitting up there waiting like, oh, here's some kids come for the porn stash.
Oh, there they come for the porn stash.
One time, the most embarrassing place was like my parents and I, we were driving back from like some camping trip or something, so I couldn't jerk off the whole weekend because like we were in the same cabin. Like it wasn't even like room separated.
You can still do it though.
So I was just like, no, I couldn't. Like I tried. I went outside once and I couldn't because it was so cold.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I was like, I can't do it. And I went back inside, and then we're coming back, and I'm like, okay, we're like 10 minutes away from home. Like I can make it. I'll get home and jerk off. And then my mom and dad were like, oh, we gotta get something from Zeller's or whatever. So they pull into Zeller's. I'm like, oh, Zeller's isn't like a corner store where they're gonna be like 2 minutes getting fucking milk or something. They needed something for the house, so they're in there. So this is a parking lot, the middle of the day. I'm in the back of the cab of like one of those trucks, like just a little back seat. And I'm a little kid, but we're still at the age where I need a visual, not a video or anything, but just a visual. I don't have any of my magazines or my printed porn stashes. So the only thing I have is like the Grand Theft Auto 3 box.
Oh,
Like there's one cartoon girl that's going like this.
I remember jerking out to video game cases for sure.
Did you do it in the back of a truck in the middle of the day in a Zeller's?
I did it. I was a notorious lock the room guy.
Dude, how did you not get like taken by some predator? Like you're just finding porn in the
you were just
woods.
screaming. Like,
You're like, hey, I'm in this
"Oh."
Zeller's parking lot. My parents are inside. I've even got my wiener out for you guys. You've heard about me. I whip my wiener out all the time.
You wanted you were asking for the attention. Like, please, somebody.
These were all just like when that first started.
Yeah.
You know, when you first started
absolutely.
getting them, and they were just like uncontrollable. And
See,
you're
but
like, I don't know what to do.
That's crazy to me. See, like you sound like you were super sexually advanced because I could go without a visual for quite some time. Like my imagination was pretty immaculate there for a while. But, like,
It was, but I needed the just like I guess the
literally
kickoff.
pull it off.
The kickoff.
Oh.
I just needed the kick. Like I needed the kickoff too of just like who I was with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like sometimes it would literally be the kind of like a lot of comedians have that joke of like the Sears catalog and that because it's true. Sometimes like
Absolutely.
the wish list book. Oh my god! So many times like my mom would be mad because she's like, we just got the wish list book. Like, where is it? And I'm like, I had to throw it out because I came on it. Like,
It's a little sticky, ma.
Exactly. And then she's like, where is it? And then she found it once in the garbage. And I remember her being like, it's all sticky. It got in the garbage already. Who threw out something gross? And then she was just mad at the sticky stuff goes in this garbage. Because like
Mom.
there was a kitchen garbage for like food and stuff, right? Like a little one. And then there was the big one for regular garbage. And I threw it in there, buried it. And she was like, fucking my mom rummaging through the garbage. Like, I'm going to find it. She just had to prove that it was in there. She knew. She couldn't be like, Mom, your son's fucking 13.
Going through some. Yeah.
like,
Where was Dad? Like, was Dad not the one being like, "Oh, honey, don't bring up the sticky salt. Like, we know what this is, right?
No.
Like, we understand."
No, exactly. No. And then I was the fourth kid, too. They were just like.
You should know by then.
Yeah, how do
Kids
you
are
not
jerking
catch
off
on?
like
A Sears
crazy.
catalog goes missing.
Yeah. That's
It's
funny.
the wish list. I wanted to see. And then it was like, you're not going to get what you want from it. I'm like, I think I
already did.
I pretty much got what I want from it.
That's why I threw it away.
I don't need that shit.
I'm too
anymore.
old for those toys, but I still want those toys. Give me those visual sheets. It's that weird age where you're still a child, but like I was like, ooh, boobies, but Ninja Turtles are cool still.
Build a titty out of Lego.
Yeah, exactly. The top of these individual ones are like a little Lego nipple.
Yeah, that was such a gross age, eh? Like, just like any chance we got, it was just like pants down, rubbing a quick one out. Like,
What a frustrating time.
I remember specifically going like every time I jerk off, it was 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I would jerk off 3 times in a row. That's crazy. I can barely like fuck once now. Like, and I'm only like 24. Like,
I need a rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only reason I keep in shape now is so that in sex I don't like I need to tap out for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I was a kid and I'd be like, you would have like almost today I have the house for 4 hours. I'm going to town. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
that was the best.
I'm
I was
going for records.
Yeah. Sometimes people are like, oh, you're gonna stick around after school or whatever. I'm getting home and I have that house for at least an hour.
Yeah.
to come on.
I'm gonna go onto LimeWire. I'm gonna fucking find a homemade porn. I'm gonna start downloading
the ones that were like Britney Spears, dude. You download it would just be her face terribly pictured on that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was the worst too because we only had one computer that had porn. Not one computer that had porn.
The old porn computer.
When we finally got the dial-up internet and you couldn't like pick up the phone and all that stuff, and like to print it, we had one of those printers that was like printed out and you had to rip the holes off the side. Did you have those ones? Where it was like it's like watching like one of like the newsroom or something like
almost like a fax machine.
Yeah, it's like
and the paper is like stacked.
Yeah, it's stacked and it comes out like that. And when you come out, you have to rip off the side.
I do remember though. Yeah,
and then it would come out, it was like it would be so loud. So when you want to print, and when you finally print a picture, you had to do each individual line. So it was like Mission Impossible mission trying to print out a porn picture without getting caught. Because if it was half out, when my mom would come downstairs, it would just be. Like these just like horribly pixelated tits coming out. Yeah. And then I'd be like, it's your fault. You wanted the Sears catalog so bad. I had to leave it alone.
I ruined it. That's so funny. Oh, God. The agent dial-up. Fuck that. You wonder what people had to do, like what people did to jerk off before then, eh? Like, do you imagine being a pioneer, having to masturbate?
Well,
what do you have?
But I'm glad I had it that slow.
Yeah.
Like, my friend and I had to look at it like together pretty much. Be like, whoa, what's that? Look at this. And it was all like the most hardcore picture in one of those magazines was like a girl sucking a dick or a guy fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that was the most extreme. So it was like easier to get there. Whereas in like, for kids now, if I just were like
he's at our fingertips
typing that shit in and that young and seeing like at my age, I still sometimes will find something on the internet and be like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
No, thank you. So I can't imagine a kid like finding the internet and just like
being that impressionable. Actually, that's like not even a bit. That's a very real thing that you brought up because I find like myself, I'm more into a little something about me. I'm into like rougher sex. Like that's my thing. And like when I look it up, when I look that shit up on the like Pornhub or whatever. I have to stop sometimes because it just turns into a rape scene, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, why can't they just have consensual, like, rough sex? Like, some women like that.
It's so hard to find stuff that's not like." And
then the girl be like, "No," and I'm like,
why?
That's dark.
It's so fucked up. Yeah, it's really fucked up that is so accessible and it's like super normal and like all these different things. And like, I'm just thinking about super young impressionable kids. That will add to a rape culture, and I'm not crazy about that. Like, that's kind of
what's gonna happen in like 10 years after like all this stuff really blows up.
Yeah.
Well, what's gonna
people been raised on it?
Yeah, seriously though, like especially at that age, you have every kid has a smartphone. You have access to it.
Well, yeah,
it's
just
so
how
easy to find
it
this
is
shit.
to get it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When we were younger, like you had to either find someone's, like an older brother's tape, and you had to, it was like watch it with your friends type thing. It wasn't this alone. What the hell is it? And I'm assuming like obviously kids are smarter and it's like they're taking it in too and they're joking around with it too. But also, when you're that young and that's what you think maybe sex is going into it. Yeah. And girls might think, oh, is that what sex is? And boys are like, oh, this is it.
For sure. You have a negative impact on both sides.
Like I never saw anything with choking women before I started having sex. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I never had that in my mind at all. And then when I saw porn,
that was a kinky thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas in like if I was a kid and just saw that as the first video of like, whoa, is that a part of it? Like, I need to choke people while I have a boner.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
No, you just show your penis to random strangers.
Like Bobby did. You grow up to be a great guy.
Why not like the good old days when you could just jerk off with your buddy in the woods? You got to go back to your roots, man.
I want to go jerking off in the woods with you guys.
Toss a couple skin mags in a bush somewhere. Go out with your buddy and be like...
On that note, I think we're coming pretty close to the end of the first part. What a great place to end on, I would say. We'll be right back with... I think some adult stories.
Yeah.
Ooh,
grown up
stuff. How's that?
We'll use that one.
We'll use that one. All right. Welcome back to part 2 of Scumbag or Scoundrel with Bobby Knauff.
We're here.
It was a good one. We talked a lot about masturbation and how
was I a
girls...
scumbag or a scoundrel?
That's a scoundrel, 100%.
So far, you get a pass. You're a scoundrel.
Because, like, first of all, I mean... I think there was just a generational gap. I mean, we didn't have the same stories. Those are some weird ones there. But like, that's like, obviously, you're very comfortable for your age as well with your own body. Like, I feel like at 12 years old, I'd be like, there's no way I'm showing my little wee wee. Like, I'd be like, this thing is tiny. Especially with the age of porn being like, look at the size of those things. I was like, there's no way I'm pulling out this little microscopic fucking
I was made
thing.
fun of a lot too already, like fire crotch, all that. So it was like, I guess my knee jerk protective reaction.
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
show you. Ah.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I did flash a kid back in elementary school, I believe. Actually,
Yeah.
just being because I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, it was more of like, it was never a sexual thing.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
a
of course.
dominance thing.
I mean, yeah, I was hoping you weren't raging
Okay,
erection when you were
man.
showing me. Sure. So yeah, I think it's fair to say though that's just scoundrel. Like that's just a little kid being a little gross, prepubescent
gross
kid.
pervo.
Like, I mean, obviously,
The
a little
Zellers
more
one's,
extreme.
the Zellers parking lot one's pretty.
Oh, it's gross. We're not denying that it's gross. This is scumbag or
it's
scoundrel.
still kind of fucked up. You jerked off with your buddy in the woods. I really can't
it's
get
fucked
past
up.
that, man.
This is scumbag or scoundrel. This
But it's
isn't
all
this
right.
isn't scoundrel or like
It's
normal
all right,
kid.
It's all right.
No matter what you say, it's gonna be weird. But as far as scumbag, that's not a scummy thing. That's just,
You're not
that's
a
just
bad guy.
fucking-
You're just lucky to be here.
Yeah. You should be someone else's
survived.
prisoner in their basement.
I survived.
Yeah, you survived your gross phases. All right. Well, yeah. So I think Eddie, you can agree. Scoundrel.
You're a scoundrel, man.
Yeah,
Don't
scoundrel.
worry. Don't worry.
Okay, well, let's see if
Take a
that'll
breath.
change.
Yeah, we'll see if that because now we're going into a part 2, adult files.
Adult files.
Now these drug fueled adult files.
Drug and alcohol fueled, yes. Because I am now sober.
Oh yes, how long has that been now?
It'll be, I hit 5 months a couple of weeks ago,
Good for
so
you.
it'll be 6 months shortly.
Yeah, half a year. That's fucking crazy. I can't go half a day without a beer. That's nuts, man. That's
It was alcohol and the old cocaine were the bad ones, and that's what this story was involved with. So,
Yikes.
do you?
So any of you watching, if he can do it, you can do it too. Call AA.
No, I didn't
Or
do
do it with
Or
acid.
do it with, yeah. That's what actually I did it with. It was acid. I read this book by Michael Pollan. It was just like expand your mind or something like that. I can't remember the specific title, but it apparently changed my life. It was like all the research that went into it and how much like it's underground research of like how that deals with depression and addiction and all that. And I was like, I was supposed to probably do it with like a scientist, someone doing all that stuff, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take a bunch of acid in the woods, and I was like, I don't want to drink anymore and everything. It was a little more detailed than that because that sounds a little bullshit. But so this was back when I was still drinking and doing the old cocaine, and had one of my favorite jobs of karaoke host. Did you know me?
The Black Bull.
Yes, in those days. Yes,
Yeah, of course.
yes. I wasn't sure when. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, I knew you in those days.
Oh, I remember now. I remember because I was very drunk all the time. It was one of the best gigs ever. Hosted karaoke every Sunday, and it's like karaoke. Haha, you would not believe how much I got laid from that job. And I have an amazing girlfriend now who I love, and if she watches this, like she accepts me.
She won't.
She this is past days. She just watched me in London yell at a lady cunt a bunch for not shutting up. So she
God
stuck
bless.
through it. She was like, "Yeah, that lady was." So I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna marry you." So yes, this is back my horse. It was in my later 20s. Mid-20s when I was like, give me everything. And so I was very, very, very drunk and very, very high on cocaine. And this girl was flirting with me, and like she kept on coming up and singing, and then like singing at me and like going like this or whatever. And her friends like, and I was super drunk, and her friends were like drunk, but they were like, okay, this is annoying, this is annoying. And then she was talking to them like, oh, I'm gonna take him home. And they're like, no, you can't, no, you can't. And I was like, she can do whatever she wants. Like,
She's a strong, independent
she's
woman.
a strong,
bitch.
independent woman. And then I'm like, because my place was like too far or whatever. And she's like, I just live like 2 blocks down the street or whatever. So she convinced her friends. And then little do I know, like as we're going there, like we're making out. Like this is embarrassing or whatever. Making out like on the street. And her friends are like, come on, this is like the worst. And I don't realize till we get there that like she doesn't live there. She's staying there. So that's why her friends were like very against.
Don't
Like,
bring a random dude in my fucking house.
house.
What are you
Exactly.
doing?
And the other thing I didn't realize until we got there was like, so these 2 friends lived there, but there was another 2 friends that lived there that weren't even involved with the night's festivities.
Yeah.
So who also didn't know that friend was even staying there that night. So they were already going to be surprised with, oh, my girlfriend from blah, 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 Hamilton Kitchener's here tonight. Oh, also drunk cocaine karaoke host. wild man is also Bobby Knauff. And
Here's Bobby.
Yeah, and I am like, should at this point, when I figure all this out and we're walking in, and it's like, it's a tiny apartment. Yeah. Like, it's like, it's a basement apartment, and then you go to the left, and there's like the one bedroom with the people I don't know at all. Yeah. And then the one apartment with like the two people that I do know that do not want me to come in, and a tiny little couch that's in the kitchen. So I'm like, I should be like, you know what? I'm gonna call it a night, or let's go back to my place, or maybe let's get a hotel. None of those, and because I just got paid too, like $100 or whatever from that. I could have thought of anything, but I'm just like, no, let's do this. Yeah. And her friends are like trying to like tell her like, and I should be like, and then they're just like, you know what, fine, just stay on the couch or whatever. We'll just, like go in our room, like you guys do whatever. And then like we're making out or whatever. Then we like start having sex on this very tiny IKEA couch, like one of those super tiny, not even a pull out. Like cushions are falling off. And at this point, like one of the people I have not met comes out of the room and just kind of ignores it. So I guess this happens at this house, which at this point I'm like, I'm gross. Like, I've fallen down a well that I am
just
now
another guy.
Yeah, I just and I'm like, how often does she stay here? How often do just random people fuck on your couch that you're not like
okay with this?
Yeah. And then I realized it's like, oh, because I need to get to the kitchen or whatever. So then they open the kitchen door because there's like no real light. So I hear and feel the person coming in the room and see the silhouette. But I'm like, at least there's no recognition, nothing like this or whatever. And no, not the light of that. It's even creepier. Have you ever seen the movie Wait Until Dark? This old Audrey Hepburn movie or whatever, where she's blind and then like the killers are coming in and she's like, she can't see it. So she's like, I ain't even the score. She knocks out all the lights in the house. So it's like really equal. But then the killer's like, I'm going to open the fridge because there's a light in the fridge. And it's like, duh, duh, duh. That's what happens. I'm now behind this girl on this tiny couch in this apartment that it's neither of ours. And this fridge opens and this man just looks at me like, not like makes eye contact while I'm just like, whoa, who am I kind of thing. And he just gets something. And then he proceeds to microwave it. So at this point, I'm like, you're the weird one. I'm an asshole at this point, but you're the weird one who's like, pizza pockets, guys coming on my couch. No, combo it up. I don't care. You're like,
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry, and this is my apartment. Like, I don't know if it was a move.
Yeah.
Like, it was
a dominance move.
A dominance move, which also I'm like,
you can fuck a woman on my couch. I'm going to make a pizza box.
Yeah, and then it's, if anything, it's like, yeah, I still was.
Yeah. I win.
And then it was so uncomfortable. And then at this point, like, I should leave after the sex.
100%. Yeah, you should have gotten out there before the sex.
Oh, I should not have
probably shouldn't have did that.
No. This person goes to bed and you could hear her friends in the other room, blah, blah. And then all the lights go off and it's like everyone's like this. And I'm just like, I'm exhausted. Yeah. The coke's wearing off and everything. And I just kind of like pass out. Down. Yeah, and I pass out or whatever. And then I wake up in the morning to people making breakfast. And I'm just, thank God I at least put my underwear on in the night. At least that happened.
Oh, I wish you hadn't.
I know. I kind of did too at this point because I'm like, I'm a garbage human being.
I'm already in here.
I'm a garbage human being. And then I like put on my clothes or whatever. And I like have the decency to like get all the condom wrappers and the condoms. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna leave that. I've already left so much bad
he
things.
He is condoms guy.
Hey, see, that's a good guy.
Well, that weirdly enough is like as much as like a drug addict and like an alcoholic I was and reckless with my behavior, I was also kind of like OCD paranoid. So I would like always. Always wrap it.
Well, yeah.
It was just like a hands down, no matter what. Even if the girl was
it's your health too.
Even if the girl was like, yeah, come on, who cares? I was like, no, if you're saying that, then we're definitely we're wrapping.
If you're clearly that comfortable doing that.
Maybe we should. But so yeah, I collected the condoms and everything. I put them in my pocket, and there's now an argument ensuing. Because the couple comes home, I guess, who had left, who were like, oh, they're still on their couch, we'll leave, and hopefully he'll leave by then. So I'm putting my pants on as the couple comes home with that, you know, that fucking cheesecake everyone loves from the Japanese places or whatever that you have to line up for?
Tiramisu.
Dr. Tier, something, yeah.
Some
Titsu or some...
Tetsu.
Titsu or something.
Tetsu's okay.
It's like this little happy guy with the thing. So I just remember that so vividly because that's the only thing I could look at because I couldn't make eye contact with anyone. They put it on the table and this argument ensued. It was like about me, but everyone was... It was such a weird chain of command of who was mad at who. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone was clearly mad that I was there, but weirdly were giving me a pass like I was a dog who peed on the rug. Like who let the dog in is who we're really mad at, not the dog for peeing on the rug. So I'm just sitting there being talked about but not actually having anger directed at me. So the couple was mad at the two friends for letting this friend bring me home. Then this couple was mad at them because apparently they did something in the past like this, so fuck them for even being mad. And then they were mad at the friend for like, I can't believe he's still here. Why is he still here?
Oh my God.
And then she's like, well, why would I fucking come here? It's so fucking boring anyway. So why can't I just be? And I'm just like literally putting on my pants, getting my coat on. And then I was just like, I was just staring at this fucking like Japanese fucking like cheesecake thing or whatever. And I'm just like, I should just walk out and not say anything, but I had to say something. So I was just like, oh, I hear that's pretty good.
Hey, buddy, shut up and leave.
Yeah, and like the guy just looks at me like you could see in his eyes, are you fucking for real?
Oh,
but
God,
no one says anything. Like we are.
Who are you?
Giving you the decency of like not addressing you right now, but you are the problem. Leave. And so I just like close the door and just like walk up like the awkwardly out of the basement stairs and just like
Basement apartment too.
Yeah, I'm just like, and it's like Monday because it was karaoke Sunday or whatever, and I was just like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? Like, it was very, very like. So many times I should have been like, leave.
That is so
this.
painful. That is so painful. Hearing that just gave me all sorts of anxiety. I was like, you need to leave so bad. Like, just get out. I would have been, if that was my roommate, I would have been fucking furious. Like, if my roommate brought a friend over, and then that friend decided to bring a random old fucking drunk old coked up dude over to pound her on my couch.
Some karaoke.
I would like, there is no way.
Yeah, I'm not even cool.
I do karaoke.
I host karaoke. 1 second, we gotta wait for him to put his gear away. That's how lame I was.
It was a great gig. It was
Yeah.
a great gig.
Hey, I made $100. What'd you guys make yesterday?
Oh my God.
Oh,
So like, I just remember that man. Like the two things I remember the most is that guy lit by the fridge light, looking at me quickly and making his whatever food, and then staring at that friggin' cheesecake while being argued. It was the most surreal moment ever of like, am I a ghost?
Yeah.
Like they're arguing about me. I'm right here. They can direct their anger at me, but it's like pew 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 pew, and I'm just being missed by all of it, and just given this like, just leave, don't say anything, just leave, just leave. Hear that's pretty good.
Hey, I hear that's actually pretty good. Mind if I have a
Like,
slice?
yeah, it was in my brain. I was like, in his mind, he's like, "Are you asking for a piece?"
Yeah, because that's
You
what
need to
I
go.
would have thought. I know you didn't mean that, but in that moment, I would have been like, "What the fuck is
You
this guy
get
doing?"
nothing.
I would have lost my mind.
Did you
actually.
sleep? So you slept on that little tiny couch?
Yeah, with her.
You both slept on
Yeah,
it.
we just like passed out.
See, that's what I wanted to know, whether you made her sleep on the floor if she slept on the couch.
No. Like we were like
Alright.
on top, very uncomfortable, like on top of each other, neck cranked kind
Yeah,
of thing.
with the legs.
Yeah,
yeah.
feet going off the other end, head kind of like this, and just like even like one foot kind of on the ground, and then she's like just on top of me, and I'm so glad I managed to like put my underwear on.
Yeah.
And at one point in the night, I had to try to find the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, being in a random person's house when you're in that state of mind.
And
You never know
knowing
what
like,
the toilet's
dude,
gonna be like.
Yeah,
either.
and then-
Sometimes it's loud and shit.
Exactly. And like, what if you turn on the thing and it like turns the light on or a fan that wakes them up? What if I open the wrong door?
Yeah,
So
into a
I was
bedroom.
like, and then that was the worst. I was just standing outside of a door for a minute. I'm like, what's creepier, me opening the door for a second, realizing it's not the bathroom and closing it, or me just standing here until they walk out maybe, and just this very pale, coked out man is standing outside of the door. And
Can I piss in
Where's
there?
the bathroom? I'm done having sex with your friend. Just like, oh, it was very much like, and then after for a few weeks, I was at karaoke, just like hoping those people didn't come back.
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
promise you
man.
they won't.
Yeah.
They're never
I
going to
promise you
karaoke.
They're never going
again.
to karaoke again. They're going, not with that fucking dude hosting. Okay, I don't. I'm gonna say just a scoundrel on this one for the sole reason that it was the friend that was insistent upon inviting you over. Had you been the guy that was like, no, baby, I should totally come over. Come on, talk to your friends, like, please.
See, that's it. I did make a bad choice getting there and not leaving, but I was not pushing the situation.
No, you were pushing the situation.
We were just flirting, and she was like, no, it's no problem, reassuring me.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just like shrugging whenever
Cool,
her
we're gonna have a
friends were
bet.
like, no. It's like, no, yeah, we'll be kind of like in my head of like, we'll be quiet. I'll be a respectful
lover
in your apartment of like, I'm not gonna come over and fuck in the living room.
I'm not gonna fucking
make eye contact with your
I'm gonna
unknown
fuck right in your
roommate.
kitchen where you make food. I don't even know, like, what would you do in that situation? Like, okay, you walk out, you see just Bobby's little beady eyes fucking looking at you as you open the fridge door. You gotta make some fucking, what are you doing? Do you do, like, I don't even know.
I just say, what the fuck are you doing fucking in my living room, man? I couldn't help but say something.
Yeah.
I
As if he didn't say
There's
anything.
no way some other guy who doesn't pay rent is coming while he's on my couch.
But I
couldn't
think he
let it
also
happen.
couldn't say anything because I didn't stop.
Yeah, as you're still
That's the
motion.
other weird part.
Oh, man.
Because I
yeah.
didn't know what was happening. I'm like, are they just walking quickly by? Should I pretend that I don't see them and just keep going? What's weirder? If we stop and we all address each other, do I have to meet this person? All this.
Yeah. Am I?
And then I'm like, this is my new buddy.
Hey, dude.
We're all in the
listening
morning
to
laughing
that.
like, what a night, eh? Remember when we looked at each other?
Cheesecake, eh? Remember the fucking night we had last night? Get out. Get out.
Like it's a sick.
You need to leave. I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel if that was me, I probably would have done the same thing, to be honest. Like, you guys are already in the motion of it. Like, you gotta bust a nut. But I don't think I would have let you.
I don't think I would have stewed in my room. If I was that dude who looked at me,
Yeah.
even though I am the asshole of the situation,
Yeah.
if I was that guy, I would not have like went and made food as a point to try to prove.
Yeah.
I would have just stewed in my room all night. Then the next day, lost it on my roommates. You know what
But if
mean?
I was drunk enough and that hungry, like maybe was he drunk too?
I don't know. He wasn't part
See, that's
of the,
what I mean. Like, if I was that hungry, I'm
didn't
like, I'm
know-
getting those pizza pockets whether somebody's fucking in my kitchen or not.
Oh, dude, and if I just came home to that shit and some random people and I had no association with the situation,
either of them.
Okay, but keep in mind,
I would have had to have fucking
in mind-
said something.
I know it's a huge asshole move.
Dude, you're so lucky to be here, man.
if you
made
okay,
it.
but keep in mind
That's
that-
very scoundrel behavior that he's lucky to be here and we're laughing about it.
Yeah, and not like, oh, and then they beat the
shit out of me.
Yeah.
Okay, but keep in mind that that's the type of person that they're accustomed. Like, this clearly isn't the first time that this has happened.
Because like that's the thing.
So you gotta keep in mind that
remember
they're
in the morning the
experiences with
argument
it.
of like
That's
the one couple being like, I can't believe this happened. They were like, well, you did that one thing this other time, so this shouldn't matter. So it's like clearly they live in this.
You just were in a mess.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. If they
How
were-
could you have known it was such a mess, too?
the fact-
Exactly,
It's
because it
not
was just
really
three
that-
girls at karaoke, one flirting. They didn't dislike me until she was adamant on bringing me home.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they were there being like,
And it
oh,
wasn't
this
even that
asshole. They were all coming up together singing Spice Girls. I had a smoke machine. I was making it go, and all three of them were like, this is so fun.
Yeah.
So everything was going good until she was like, no, I'm bringing him home. And they were like, well, no, you can't.
That's our
But I
place.
missed that part of like, that's our place. I was just like, oh, why? They're mad. Like, don't worry, we'll be quiet. Like, this and that. And then like, oh, when I got there, oh, I should leave. No, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Did you have to like lug any actual gear around with
No,
you?
no, no. The company I worked for
good.
dropped off the gear. I just had to
Package.
tear it all down and put it in the corner. Like, wrap all the cords, put all this stuff away. So, yeah, they had to watch me while I'm, like, somehow flirting with her. Like,
Just let me do the tear down.
yeah,
while you're
no, bro, I'm
wrapping
just
them
going to put these cords.
up.
People think it's good to wrap it like this, but actually you should wrap it like this.
You should hear
I don't know if you
my
knew
my
about that.
Creed karaoke. It's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, we like the fucking Creed.
Yeah,
down
dude. We
here, man.
love Creed down in Old Hickville,
Wait,
USA.
Give me a line of the Creed song.
Can you take me higher?
To a place where something Jesus.
Jesus.
They're a religious band, right?
But they denied it
But they denied
because
it.
they wanted to sell albums.
Yeah, and it was Scott Stapp with his greasy.
That's right. My dad met him
I'm
on
like
an
a-
airplane.
Oh yeah, was he shirtless and greased up?
Yeah, he 100% of the time always is.
Can you help with my luggage?
Dude, I heard he's doing like goat farming and stuff now and really turned shit around actually.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good
All right.
for you,
well,
Scott Stapp.
I think we're coming up to near the end here. We're losing some time, but we had a very fun episode. Thank you very much for coming in, Bobby.
Thank you so much for having me.
Very fun, brother.
I probably will lose some work out of this, but
Well, you're a scoundrel. Don't worry.
you're a scoundrel. The people that are looking to hire you will look at this and be like, they'll analyze and be like, scoundrel, not scumbag. So it's okay. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, peeps.
thank you.